Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal Osborne. I am going to read you a short snippet out of the book of Quran. I'm in chapter 67, the kingdom. It says, how could he who created not know his own creation when he alone is the most subtle in his wisdom and all the aware? And so for those of you that are just now joining me, I would like to take the time to tell you who I am. Like I said, my name is Crystal Osborne. I write my name out. I write my name Crystal above Osborne or Osborne above Crystal. And in this journey that I've been on with the man you all know as Father, he has revealed words to me out of my name stacked. But not just out of my name stacked, but out of my name and then out of my name stacked. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with by telling you about him talking to me about start coming out of my name, out of just my first name only. You've got the word start. And then you've got the word last. And then this was yesterday's lesson that he had me working out. And we've worked over that part before, and over this part, he just wanted me to give y'all visualization. He told me this is, kind of talking about my birth process of me being the star, start. And then this goes into the completion process of my family being stars. And that will probably go into a piece of a notebook that I might put it in or something. I'm not sure yet. But that kind of gives you just a little bit of setup about the meiosis process and the beginnings. He had me to write out my last name. And he had me write out the word robe. When you see these lines like this is how the stars are connected. How they meet up and how they're connected. He had me write out the word robe, and he said that in my family we are the robed births. We are the chosen ones. And so back here on this side, he had me to pull down the word sons. And if you caught my previous recording, it talks about me being the first S-O-N as well as the first S-U-N. In this piece here, it talks about the copper colors, the soil trees, the branches, and the leaves. And I've highlighted the word pie. I've highlighted that word. But it says, I've written down here, it says, proof for all doubters that goddess is black, known as copper losa toned. And this is one of the reasons why so many people have denied me. Not just the fact that I'm a female, but because of my color skin. But you want to know something that's funny? I don't even know if I got it over here. I like crayons. Crayola. And so what he's been talking about is there's no way that anybody can doubt that God is black. When you look at the trees are brown. When you look at the soil is brown. When you look at the dirt is brown. When you look at the branches are brown. all those words, trees, branches, leaves, they all come out of my name stacked. I don't know if y'all can see that. But do y'all see how that, I need some lotion on. Do y'all see how that Crayola matches my skin tone? And so do the leaves. The leaves also match my skin tone. For anybody that wants to be committed to jealousy, ain't no who he be. And then I guess I could have left that Crayola box out. He had me to write out the core colors, solar streams, and land streams, and leads. And then on this side, he had me to write out the word Crayola. It's a 7-letter word. This is part of our 7-letter game. And then he had me to write my name up underneath it. He had me write my first name up underneath it. And that will reveal to you that I am Crystal Mother, Glass Walls, Crystal Rays. I am your colors, your themes, and your colors, colors, colors. He had to take me back to the mid-90s, if you know what I mean. And then, like I said, we worked on that. And so that again shows that that is one of the products that comes up underneath my name, stacked. When you get over to the book of Revelations, and it talks about the merchants wailing over her, I'm her. I don't have it in front of me right now. Let me see if I can find something. But I am her that they speak of in the book of Revelations. When it talks about they're not going to buy the products anymore and stuff, I'm her. But anyways, I've got a box recorder, and I mean everything on that box. Everything on that box. I don't even know what kind of recorder it is. Everything on that box comes out of my name stacked. When you look at the word crystal, and then you hear people say, and I made myself crystal clear. How is it that they're able to say, I made myself crystal clear? Clear also comes out of my name stacked. For those of you that are just now joining my recording, this is how you know that I'm the lead hands and fingers concept. And so I've been talking a lot about the hands and fingers concept. I'm trying to keep you people out of hell. I kid you not. I mean, there's no way around what I'm telling you people. And so, this is where he was taking me to let you all know about the copper colors. The copper tree colors, the soil colors, the branches, the leaves. And then over here on this side, I've written out that I'm the host, dirt, nature's elements, rocks. Some of the recordings I've seen, some of the girls know about these things. They know about all these things. It's sad my family doesn't, though. Isn't that something? Over here, I've written out my name, and then I've wrote core colors, souls, tree, ancestry, leaves. And if you go and you look at ancestry.com, it'll show you trees, it'll say ancestry, and leaves. Sometimes it'll even show like the leaves falling. And then when it gives you a hint, it puts a leaf up there for you to click on that hint. And so isn't it coincidental? Some people want to say coincidence means exactly what it means. You know, everything lines up correctly. Some people want to say, oh, coincidence, oh, it doesn't really mean that. I mean, where do people come up with their definitions at? Coincidence means it lines up correctly, and you're like, it's also like considered a wow. You know what I'm saying? Like when everything lines up correctly, it's considered a wow. And so whenever the man you all know as Father, when he started revealing these things to me, not so much the ancestry part, but the trees, and telling me that I'm the souls, and that I'm the tree of life, I had some wow moments. You know what I'm saying? And I had some wow moments, and I had some moments where I wanted to call somebody. And I wanted to tell somebody, like, what he had told me. And I wasn't able to do those things. And so, like I said in my previous recording, I've been unable to share my notebook with anybody. So, you know, people choose to be lost. And the thing about it is, man, like, I don't know. People choose to be lost. They just don't get it. And so, me and the man you all know as Father, since, you know, I got people that want to tell me, well, Crystal, you ain't got your master's degree. Okay. Crystal, you ain't finished college yet. Okay. But it's funny how college, university, and master's degree comes out of my name stacked. Kid you not. I'm going to show you proof on that too. Associates, masters, bachelors, certificates, certified, colleges, universities, all come out of my name stacked, as well as educational levels, all come out of my name stacked. Kid you not. I'm kind of a big deal, whether y'all like it or not. Whether people want to sit up here and say, oh, sis having a moment, sis is crazy. No, sis has had a lot of wows. Sis has had a lot of wows. Whenever the man you all know as Father told me, he said, Crystal, you came in disguise. He said, everything that you've been through. He said, that ain't something that you, Crystal Osborne, would have done had you not came in disguise. What does disguise mean? People aren't aware of you, right? Okay, well, not only was y'all not aware of me, but I myself was not aware of me. And so even as I've become aware of myself, the man you all know as Father, he has literally tried to come through the spirit known as me and try to talk death through me. Do you understand? And so when he, on one of my recordings, I said, you're going to watch me go through this battle with him. You may not get to see me cuss him out, you know, and y'all aren't going to get to hear how he talks to me. But, you know, over in the scripture, it talks about I'm supposed to be his wife and all this and that. That stuff ain't true. That stuff is not true. This thing, this man, whatever that you all call Father, the one that has revealed me to me and himself to me. He's not my husband. I am not married in heavens. I am not married in hells, where y'all think it's at. And I'm not married on earth. I'm not married. And the crap irks me. But anyways, for you people that think you all know so much, and y'all want to sit up here and talk about me, because y'all want to say that I'm not educated, right? I'm crazy. I've been to a mental hospital. I've told you all the truth about me. And I'm kind of speaking to them psychologists, psychiatrists, and wannabe counselors. Because them psychiatrists and psychiatrists, they can't tell me nothing. Like I said, they're going in the same lake of shame themselves, just like the so-called preachers and the so-called prophets. Do not play with me. I came here in disguise. Now, me and the man you all know as Father have had this discussion for a couple of days, and we have talked about the so-called people told the so-called preachers to tell you so-called people that the heavens is above the universe and the hells is beneath and the earth is the middle. And I'm kind of aggravated because this is like the third time I've tried to make this recording. This is how they came up with this concept. Out of my name stacked. And then they want to take heavens right here. And then they want to say hells is beneath earth. And earth is the middles. They say earth is between the universe and hells. Right? On my side of the page, I've got universe over here. Hells is right here. And then earth is over here to the side. Is that making sense to people? And so we were talking about the auroras that's been taking place. And he said, Crystal, you grabbing a lot of people's attention. And auroras is one of the words he had me to write out. It's a 7-letter word. Like I said, it's part of the 7-letter game. And in that word, if you write out my first name up underneath the word auroras, it'll show you that I'm the face of the auroras. And so when we was talking about it, he said, people sitting up there, he said, on one of the recordings that we had listened to tonight, the girl was like, the Father says we need to look to the skies. Look to the skies. I mean, we've heard that all of our lives, right? And so I was laughing because he was like, man, she don't even know. She was on there doing a bunch of, like she knew what she was talking about. He was like, she don't even know. Them type of people get on my nerves. They wanted to call themselves having a group discussion, but they wouldn't even allow people to get on their live broadcast to give their side point of view when they're asking, what is your religion and why is your religion the best? Oh no, we're cutting him off, cut him off. Okay, well that right there shows me that you're unintelligent and you have no concept of a common grounds debate. And when I say a common grounds debate, you don't sit up there and post what is your religion and what makes your religion best, and then you don't want to hear what somebody has to say. I'm laughing because all through the process, they all talking about God this, God that. And I'm viewing. I'm laughing. Because before it's all done and over with, like I've said on my previous recordings, people are going to start showing out. When they start grassrooting and catching concept, they're going to be trying to get across videos. They're going to be like, I know the Lord watching. I know royalty. When I talk about royalty, I'm talking about my family. And when I'm talking about my family, I'm not just talking about my immediates. I'm talking about my cousins. Right now, I'm representing. Do you understand me? I love you. You know who I'm talking to. I love you. I got one cousin and they representing. And when I say they representing, they request a video. Every time I make one, they request a video. I love that. I do. I love that. But anyways, when people start grassrooting, they're going to be sitting up here. They're going to be trying to put their kindness out there across the video. Because they're going to be like, well, we know sis like this. Or we know her cousin like this. So we gonna do this. Man, these boys better get on board. I'm so not playing. I'm so not playing. I got so many, man, I got so many male cousins. I don't know if they married or not. I don't know the family. But but they, man, gon' I'm trying to refrain. I'm going to be lining pussy up for their asses. But they got to learn the concept. When I was sitting over there last year, I was sitting in the apartment by myself. He said, Crystal, he said, did you know you got some clap out girls? He was like, and I said, what? And I could see them. Y'all know y'all think I'm crazy. I know y'all think I'm crazy. I could see these bitches coming through the door. And I'm like, I could feel them climbing up on the bed. And I'm just like, he's like, you got clap outs. He was like, and then the dude's coming through. I'm like, what? He said, yes. He said, yes. He said, this is why we tell the girls and the boys and whatever what they want to, the men or the women. It ain't not whatever they want to be. You made a choice route. But he said, this is why we tell them, keep yourselves. Keep yourselves. Because I'm telling you, I'm just like, oh my gosh. I mean, just woo. They crowd in the room. I mean, he's showing it all to me. I'm just like, wow. And the females, some of the females was talking to me and stuff. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yeah. But everybody wanted to be married. Everybody wanted to be married. Everybody wanted to be shacked up. Y'all don't even know. Y'all, I got some of their names written down. I can't remember any of their names right off the top of my head, but I do. I got some of the females' names written down. I don't even remember the male names, but I do have some of the females' names written down. Clap outs is what they called, and I got them coming from both sides, the males and the females. Clap outs. But anyways, so while everybody's sitting up there thinking that y'all gonna be looking at something just grand in the sky, you gonna see yourself up there. You might see yourself up there laying in the bed with somebody that you done denied. Such as saying, I didn't sleep with him. I didn't sleep with her. And it's going to be broadcasted. And you might be able to kind of hear the words broadcasted. Yes, it's going to be, y'all going to be up there. Ain't nothing you can do. Ain't nothing you can do. Y'all all out there trying to zoom in. And you hoping whoever you showed up with ain't seen you up there too. You do not want to be called out in the skies. It's scripture. You do not want to be called out in the skies. So, while these so-called people have told your so-called preachers to tell you so-called people that the heavens is above the universe and the hells is above beneath the earth and the earth is the middles. No, it's not. Hells is in the skies. Hells is in the skies. He said, Crystal, we've been dropping souls. He said we, but I'm going to drop his too. I'm not playing. This man, I want to go. Ooh, y'all don't even know. This man, your co-father, he has put me through some shit. And when you get over there in the first chapter of Revelations, I say, you might hear me joke around. I might sound, this and that. But this motherfucker, me and him, y'all going to see me. Y'all going to see me. I might be sitting on a recording. And y'all gonna see my ass come out that sky at him. I'm not playing. Me and him done talked about this. And I know it's over there in the book of Revelation. He said, for whatever reason, Crystal, he said, you keep skipping over that part. But I didn't skip over it here the other night. I caught that shit. And I don't know how many times I read the book. But I caught that. And it was... it was something about him getting his ass whooped out the sky. And I could hear him screaming. Like, I could hear him wailing. I kid you not. You hear them chickens out there? I go through this every day. The man you all know as father, he tries to talk through the chickens. Or sound, I should say, sound through the chickens and the roosters, the dogs, vehicles. I know people think I'm crazy, but I speak truth. Anything and everything that I have created. This monkey ass eater, that's what I call him. I call him a monkey ass eater. He is trying to sound through. He said, because y'all have allowed him in y'all's ears so much. He said he going to have y'all down at the soil lands like this, trying to hear his VOICE. I'm cracking up. So, that just gives you a real snippet of where they came up with their concept at. He wanted me to go through and like write out 3 different sheets and show you how they've all tried to do their thought process of the heavens, supposedly the heavens being above the universe, the hell's beneath the earth, and the earth is the middles. But he said it does make sense though with them thinking that hell's is beneath the earth because the volcanoes. That's hell's. Some people know this, some people choose not to know this. But the volcanoes is hell's. And so another thing that we was laughing at, because I'm not intelligent or conscious. Anyways, he said, Crystal, and I have mentioned this on one of my previous recordings. He said, because, you know, y'all always say y'all educated. You know, I was raised as people that run around here and think they know so much. They're called educated fools. I'm loving it. I am loving it. I'm loving it. Y'all got borrowed, what do you call it? Borrowed knowledge. And it's all been lies. Oh, goodness. That's why y'all got student loans. He had a little nursery rhyme he was giving me here the other night when I was talking about it. But anyways, he said, Crystal, he said, you remember when you was in grade school? He said, these motherfuckers couldn't get past the 9 planets. And I had to write them down. Yeah, there they are. He said they couldn't even get past the 9 planets. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Mars, and Earth. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then they would talk about the sun. Right? He said they could not get past these 9 planets. He said this is where these motherfuckers was stuck at. He said right here. He said not only was they stuck up right here, now I'm holding it up for you. But then they wanted to tell us that all my planets were circles. Or circled. He said, and you heard me talk about the 9 planets, right? Plus sometimes they would talk about the sun. He said they couldn't get out of this Niners box right here. He had me cracking up. He did. He said they could not get out of this Niners box right here. So, I wrote, the man you all know as father said the dummies couldn't get out the Niners box category column. And since the soul, known as sun, appears circle, they lied and said all planets were circled. They was lazy, is what he said. He said they was lazy. He said there's a few of them that come out and try to give a different description of shapes about the planets. But he said, Crystal, that's just, you know, examples. You can get circle, rectangle, triangle, angles, and something else for examples that come out of my name stacked. Do you remember when they kept talking about Mars was livable? And then they even tried to say Uranus would too become livable? Could it be because Earth comes out of my name stacked and we're living on it? And so since they're able to pull Mars and Uranus out of my name, these dummies want to come and tell us that Mars and Uranus is livable. They're not. They say that stuff because they know that their days are ending. You know what I'm saying? Then, did I show y'all that planets come out of my name stacked? In case somebody want to try me. I can't be debunked. Shit, y'all better get in here on this motherfucking map. But anyways, there's that. And I hate how my mouth looks. Trust me, that's all I look at when I see my face. And then he took me through the process of the word diamond. And he's kind of said it a couple of times. He's like, Crystal, you the diamond in the rough. He was like, shit. He's like, even on that bride shit that these people want to be on, you know, of the bride of Christ. And he's like, what was they expecting? He's like, some little petite white that wants to sit up here and pretend to have some manners about herself. He said, what was they expecting? He was like, we're going to keep it real. He was like, if it's me really talking to you as being my motherfucking bride. He was like, I'm looking for a motherfucking warrior keep. He's like, what was they expecting? No, they was expecting somebody to come out wearing fake. You know, these girls all want to talk about black girls and their hair Well, white girls, when you can walk around without your fake, then you talk. But they want to come around with their fake. The other ones want to come around with fake hair. They want to be all small and petite. I'm sorry. I've done hit all ranges of sizes. I even got down to a size 2. Fit. Still got the pants over there. But anyways, and this was just there a couple years ago. Kid you not. So he's like, you know what? He said what they expecting somebody that's going to be wearing name brand clothing all the time. Wearing, all this perfume, loud smells. And, don't cuss, don't drink, don't smoke. Don't do nothing. Just supposed to be sitting here waiting for this man to come out disguised for me. Bride does not come out of my name stacked, but bridal does, like I told you the other day. Bridle and handles, horses, cattle, cows. That shit come out my name stacked. I like motherfucking cars. Okay? I like motherfucking Bud Light. I like motherfucking Token. Okay? I'm the number one lead. I can say whatever the fuck I want these days. Can't nobody say shit to me. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't gonna be that, because I told y'all about y'all's dry grooming. Y'all gotta come to me. I said I came out this motherfucking disguise. Oh, she can't cuss around me. Oh, I'm waiting. Who you waiting on? Because even my clap outs cuss. Not all the females though. Shit, I do got some ladies. And some males, gentlemen. But I cuss. I cuss like a motherfucking sailor. So, when you talk about the diamond in the rough, that's me. All right? I'm that bitch. I'm that nigga that they all love to hate. Shit, that's real motherfucking talk for you. I had it somewhere earlier. There it is. Niga. Nigga. Right? I had to make sure my little stickies wasn't showing. So anyways, like he said, I'm the diamond in the rough. And so he had me write out my last name beneath the word diamond. And so in the first column box, he had me write doors. In the second column box, he had me write Sissy. In the third column box, he had me write Gabrielle. In the fourth column box, he had me write mother. In the fifth column box, he had me write lords. In the seventh column box, he had me write dears. And then I've highlighted the word C. I guess for some that don't want to believe the hands concept, y'all want to tell me I should have just wrote history right here, where I wrote my name. I should have just wrote history. I'm gonna hit some of y'all's thought processes. And so on the back side here, he had me write out my first name above the word diamond. And so in the second column category, under the RI, or in the RI column category, he had me write written. In the YA category, he had me write y'alls. In the, and that's 1, 2, in 3, 4. In the fifth column category, the ST stack, he had me write stolen. In the in the AN column category, the sixth column category, he had me write lands. In the seventh column category, he had me write gold in the LD column category. And it says, y'all's written, stolen, lands, gold. And they've stolen my gold. Ah. Is this making sense to people? Because I know some going to be like, But remember, I already showed you nature and lands comes out of my name stacked. And I told y'all on my previous recordings, or my previous recording, that Christos comes out of my name stacked. And so does the name Adoniah, and then so does the name El. And some people have even used the word Elohim, Elohim. No, that does not work. Adoniah and Christos does. Now, he hasn't really gone over L with me. And when I say L, the E-L word, he hasn't really gone over that. He has a little bit, but not a whole lot. Sometimes he says it's okay. Sometimes he says it's not. So I don't know. But this is my proof to show you that Christos and Adoniah, as well as right here where it says L, and those that are biblically scriptured and know this stuff, they'll go and look this up. Now I might write the definitions out for what they've written, for what L stands for. But like I said, this is how he has showed me and revealed me to me. Back here on the back side, he had me write out my last name beneath the word Christos, because again, it's a 7-letter word for the 7-letter game. And in the CO column category, I wrote core. In the RS column category, I wrote doors. In the IB column category, I wrote Bible. In the SO column category, I wrote souls. In the TR category, I wrote Trinity. In the ON category, I wrote sons. In the SE category, I wrote sets. And then he was teasing me earlier when I had wrote this out. He was like, Crystal, do you remember Satan being called Lewis? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of remember that. And he's like, all right, well, when you tell the people, just be sure and tell them that you really don't know if you heard it come across the television screen or if it was something that I had spoke to you. Because he did a lot of talk to me when I was little. And so when he starts coming up and telling me some of these names, I remember them. You know, he'll take he doesn't just tell me these names, but he takes me back to the setting. And he shows me like everything wherever the name came up, he'll show me in that setting what I was doing at that moment when that name came up. And so that's some of the ways that he talks to me and teaches me, since, people want to be like, oh, well, she crazy. She crazy. Man, this stuff ain't sounding crazy. I said, whenever I can sit down and I can write, even the word animals right here. I can write the word animals out. Dinosaurs. I can write Dinosaurs. I can write it over here. I knew I was pointing in the right spot first. But yeah, I can even write the word dinosaurs over here. And he's kind of giving me some brief lessons on the animals and the dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs being here after the true biblical times. And he said, even sometimes, he said, some of the people would tell y'all, in the videos that we would listen to as students when I was in grade school, he's like, some of them would tell y'all that there was a world before the dinosaurs. And they wasn't talking about a Big Bang Theory happening. And so he stops right there. He always stops right there. And so, it's time for me to turn my recording off. But I had some more things that I wanted to go over y'all with. Oh, that's what it was. I was reading in the book of Isiah. Since people want to say, my name has no meaning, right? I was reading over in Isaiah 5:14. It says, therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall ascend. What else did I write? Oh, I wrote shall ascend. And then I wrote over here to the side, I changed it to ascend, because in the book it said shall descend. But when me and the man you all know as Father was talking about it, that's when we talked about the so-called people told your so-called preachers to tell you so-called people that the heavens is above the universe and the hells is beneath the earth and the earth is the middles. But anyways, why does it say in here, hell hath enlarged herself? If y'all had paid attention to my previous recordings, I told you that I am hell's keep. Right? It's over there in the book of Proverbs. At moments, I get a little proud about my teeth missing because I know it wasn't no drug usage. And if people want to look at me and they want to talk about me, well, that's just another route that they chose. I am hell's keep. It says, and so I'm asking you again, people, how is it going to say in Isaiah 5:14, therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth? So I'm going to call these young girls out and these so-called adult women. Can y'all do this shit? Can y'all go from motherfucking cuteness and being considered called a finey to having no teeth and still having to go out here and speak publicly? I can't even go back to my regular job positions. I've worked in office, frontline office positions, executive positions. I cannot go into my job like this. And I know people are like, well, girl, go get you some dentures. The man you all know as father, he says, I can't. He says, all of this is for a reason. And I want to show you back here again where hell's comes out of my name stacked. But he says, all of this is for a reason. He said, because when the New Jerusalem returns, which is me, my teeth will come back. My vision will come back as 20/20. Those in my family who have missing teeth, their teeth will come back. Their vision, their hearing. And so I do have proud moments. As well as sad. Because I know a man won't ever look at me the same. I can't smile. One of my favorites is to smile at people. I can't do that. My smile is gone. And so he said, all of this is for a reason. So that I can be recognized when my beauty does start to come back. And so if you look up here, you'll see the word TNT. I am dynamite. I'm a little piece of leather well stuck together. And it's well put together. And I told y'all about this so-called trying to set my notebook on fire. Mad props to Pin Gear protector sheets. But this is what he tried to do. I've never tore up his things. And I can't have nothing. So again, as you people learn me, and y'all have all put in y'all's request, I am putting in a request for a home and for a new vehicle. I want a new Bronco, I want a new blue Bronco. And so, over in Isaiah 5:15, and people that know the scripture, and I'm talking about people that know the scripture, because I've seen my story been talked about. It says, and the mean and the evil man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be brought down and humbled. People that don't read, people that's been marked by me, should not be putting their mouth against me when they don't have understanding, wisdom, or knowledge. Like I said, I'm tired. This is 5:13. It says, therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are furnished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. I'm telling you again, people, and I'm speaking to my family at this specific moment. We are royalty. We are the world rulers. Not Trump, not Elon, not the rest of them across our country lands. I'm not crazy, and I'm far from mental. The man you all know as Father is not going to reveal all of this to me. Excuse me. Just like when you get over in the book of Revelation 17. And it talks about, and I will show you the beast that carries her. This right here. Table and chairs comes out of my name stacked. There was a recording that I had watched earlier. And me and this gentleman, we had talked a few times, and he had talked about, he said, he didn't call my name out, but he was like, you are the table and the chairs. And what do my people not get about that? When I sit up here and I tell y'all sit up here and y'all want to listen to what white man got to tell you, whenever y'all know from the days of slavery, that white man sat up here and tried to tell you you're going to worship his wannabe G. And they don't even have our language concept. And then we thirst because we looking for the truth. I remember, the man as Father, it at times it's kind of hard for me to give a description, but at times I have to put myself within regularity. And so I remember asking, like, what is the Lord's name? And then I remember asking, is the Lord across our hands and our fingers? And this was when I was a child. And he didn't bring me to the understanding, into the full grass-rooted understanding, until late last year, that I'm the hands concept. And so we thirst. I'm in a process right now where I'm just, I want my family. I do. I want my family. And it's just, and I want to sit down and I want to be able to talk with them, and I can't, because the man you all know as Father, like I told y'all in my previous recordings, he took over my mind, body, soul, and spirit. And now my family don't want to hear nothing that I got to say. You know, but that's part of the test of the chosen routes that they chose. But here's the thing, people, I ain't just letting nothing happen to them. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my cough. We are in cold season. Cold also comes out of my name. I go through regularity just like everybody else. I do. I go through regularity just like everybody else. I'm fixing. I took some Alka-Seltzer earlier. I'm fixing to go take me some more Alka-Seltzer cold. And you know, pull that. And then the rest of the stuff that I had written, I was talking about the Atlantic slave trades. And they did it because y'all were considered the first persons. People know this. Why was y'all considered the first persons? This is how some of their writings appeared. This is, I don't even know if this is why this category right here, where you see that N word, that is a derogatory word, that's also the category where curses fall at. And so, of course, they're trying to say only my black people had curses. No, anybody that uses this word against my black people, against my royalty, and remember, my royalty could be any description. You will be cursed. But that's some of the ways that they did things back then. Off of my name stacked is how they did their trades, their sales, their backstabbing. And then I wrote over here where it shows the curses. Comes out of that same stack. And so these people, these white people, these racist, prejudiced white people that had slaves, they knew that they knew not only were they being cursed, but they knew their spouses' lineages was being cursed, as well as their upsprings, they downsprings, they knew it. They whole trees was being cursed for what they was doing across the Atlantic and the oceans. They knew this. And then over here I wrote out, and I've got some more stuff in my notebook, but I wrote out copper persons, everybody's soul, trades, and people. And then down here I've got pole, SOS. And I don't know what all I've written there. I'd have to read it out to you. And then they did this because they were trying to find out if I was here yet, is what they was trying to do. And then some of the recordings that you hear, like across some of these old pictures that they play of slave pictures, you can hear some of them saying that they would kill me. But they wouldn't. They weren't going to kill me. They wanted what I had. They wanted more than just a slave. I didn't have, I shouldn't say that. But anyways, they wanted more than a slave. But had I been here, that stuff wouldn't have happened. But so if they couldn't find me, they wanted my next of kin. And so they tracked them down. This is where I talk about the backstabbing coming in. They tracked them down and started killing them off. Some of them escaped. Some of them didn't. And then over here, I talk about the Trail of Tears. And like I said, I've got some more details about these two facts. I talk about the Trail of Tears and why they put my Indian people on the Trail of Tears. Trail, Tears, and Indians comes out of my name stacked. And that's why in some of these writings you'll see of mine, I talk about the Indians for taking it to a white. They done stuck your asses on the Trail of Tears through the winter months. And then you get to Indian Territory, known as Oklahomans, known as Oklahoman's land. Oklahoman comes out of my name stacked. And y'all go back to doing the same repeated patterns. You see what I'm saying? I'm almost in that same thing. Not that I've been going back doing the same repeated patterns, but I'm with somebody that don't give a fuck about my life either. Something that my ancestors have been through. And so these are some of the words down here that they would write. Like if they thought you were deserving to be off the Trail of Tears, they would write freed, and they'd gather you and your family. They wasn't gonna try to take too many of you, and they would get you off the trail, and they would get you to shelter. They don't talk about all those things though. They did do our Indian people bad, and it's not anybody's but mine and my family's Indian people, okay? But they did do our people bad. But that was some of the ways that they would do things. Then some of it would be, if they seen a woman that they considered to be fine looking, they might send her husband out to go gather food, to go hunting, and they'd kill him off. And then they'd use that as an excuse to load her and her children up to take them to shelter so that he could take her. Because he knew that he would get certain benefits because they wasn't so much considered royalty as they was considered chosen. But the Indians wasn't here first, and we'll go over that whole description at a later time because they got rights to the Grand Canyon and stuff like that. The Indians wasn't here first. Grand and Canyon come out of my name stacked, as well as oceans. And I'm gonna cross your hands and your fingers. So I want my land titles and deeds. This ain't the days to be playing, people. It ain't. This is not the days to be playing at all. And then this last piece I wrote out of Isaiah 5:24. And it says, therefore as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rootless, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. So, these ain't the days to be playing with, people. It really ain't. I said I've been through a lot. For nobody to even care about my life. But then I'm supposed to sit up here and teach people. And again, like I said, nobody cares about my life. And what I'm going through. What I've been through. Nobody cares about my worries. I know there's a few out there that pray for the Lord. The ones that's going to have their hands stuck out first, they don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't. But it is what it is, because ain't nothing going to get past me. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm tired of, maybe my recordings aren't informational enough. But I see a lot of unintelligence out there. And these people have all kinds of followers. But, it says only 144,000 make it. Y'all start looking at your neighbors. Because I know me and mine's is going to make it. So, I'm just going to keep it real. It ain't no sweat off my back. Me and mine's is going to make it. So those of you that want to sit up here and despise my words and try to tell me I didn't create you, or try to say something else ain't what I've already revealed to you, only 144,000 gonna make it. So start looking at your neighbors. You all have a great day.